Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard, and I've got just a little bit of paint to use up, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but that's a 14 by 14 inch canvas, and my tape has come off my ends, so I'm going to move that out of the way for a minute, and I'm not going to worry about that. But what I want to do is weird. What I want to do is put my glasses on, and there they are. What I want to do is use a lot of white right under there. And I really want to tip it across. Don't fall out. Okay, that's somewhere else. I got paint on there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out that this is my regular white paint mixed with pouring medium, always GAC 800 by Golden, to keep the paint from cracking when it's thick. I don't want it in excess, I just want enough to help me spread whatever I dump on there. This is very accidental, as you just saw by the way I dumped that in there, but I suspect that I will make a whole lot of cells. I'm hoping anyway. That is probably a sushi towel dispenser. I don't know where I got it. I probably picked it up at a yard sale. The thing I like about it is the long flat edge. And I'm not sure what I can do with that this time. I just used it to make a beautiful diagonal stripe on another canvas. And it worked out very well. Right now, I'm going to throw my spatula into the bucket. And I think what I'm going to do is add gold to the other end of this. And what else? Something else. Some magenta right underneath. And then Deco Art pouring medium laden blue. And I'm just going to go right from the center. I'm going to let it drain. Actually, I'm going to use my Oxo omelet turning, I'm going to use my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst. I get confused. I do this too many times in a day when I do it. And trip over my tongue. I don't even know if this is going to work, but fortunately I have squeeze bottles. It's very slippery. That's going in the bucket. Fortunately I have squeeze bottles, and that means that I can fix almost anything if my heart desires it. Now I like this gold down here, but I also think since I've been squeezing things up underneath that I just ought to just continue doing so. I've left a whole lot of my paint in my way. I've got an edge catcher. Yes, I do. It's looking pretty interesting these days. Edge catchers are just cut pieces of plastic, heavy-duty plastic that was in a 16 by 20 inch package of Michael's value pack canvases. I want to put some black in there, and I know I should not start that way, but I can't help myself. I've got some to use up. I could swipe it out. I think before I swipe it out, I'm going to see what happens when I just tip this accidental artwork. Also, torching at the beginning of a painting will often release cells. So why not see, without setting up the paint too much. If you add too much heat, you're going to set up your paint. I like everything I'm seeing there, but it's still not what I really have in mind. And I've finally used up my paint. And this blue color is just so compelling for me. Maybe it's because I think I can't get any more of it. Now, before I tip, do I want to do anything? Do I want to swipe? I've got some, I have not cleaned up my spatulas. Oh, I have a lot of Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas, and you've got to get the paint off in between in order to not have little bits of dried on paint pull things. But I think I'm going to pull from where I see, and then I'll tip whatever's left. Because I can. The name of my book on the Amazon link below the video. And we are almost ready, or we probably have gotten to the point where it's published on demand finally, after having been nothing but an ebook for a while. But it was a popular ebook. We were on the best sellers page for painting, books on painting, so that was cool. I like that magenta red, and I think it's a metallic too, which is cool. I'm just having too much fun again. I'm going to wipe off my spatula. I'm going to pull things down. I really think I need to I really think I need to tip, but I'm not doing it because I love to see what cells come from the spatula. And I have a lot of paint on there and not too many spaces left that aren't, not too many negative spaces. So rather than worry too much about anything else, I am going to tip around and around and let some accidental art happen with my guidance. And then maybe I will be willing to add some black if I want to. What I usually do, and what I'm going to do, might be two different things. I don't want to lose all that beautiful blue on that side, so I just changed my mind entirely about going where I was holding the edge catcher like a goof. Alright. I got beautiful things everywhere I want to tip, so I'm not going to do that. I never use this tool, so I'm going to use it now. Because it's time to find out what it'll do. And I'm going to let some of that go over the edge. Lots of it, actually. There is a lot of that creamy colored center that's a little too brown for my liking. But I think I have too much paint on there. What do you think? I don't want that purple to go away. And as much as I love those cells over there and that blue over here, boy, I'm having trouble with this one. I could just swipe, which is basically what I'm doing anyway. Alright, confusion reigns. Just do what you feel you have to do. And I've got some cobalt blue. Good thing that I use the GAC 800. And I'm going to let myself make a mess and deal with it afterwards. I don't want to go too far because I will not have much of a composition if I go that far outside my comfort zone. I have so much paint on this canvas. It was definitely my moment to make an error in judgment. But it could wind up being tomorrow's background color for another artwork. I'm going to use the paint that I've got on this particular long rectangular spatula, which I do not find a use for often enough, which someday I will figure out. I've got chain. What else have I got? I got all kinds of stuff, but I'm kind of missing my negative space in a big way. I can waggle. Waggling is good. I like waggling a lot. Waggling is just waggling. Waggling is what I do when I find lines that have just been applied from the squeeze bottles. And the paint is thick, so it will heal itself. If I waggle, it'll also uncover other things into the buckets. I have tubing, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it with a little gold paint. Whoops. I'm going to use it with more gold paint than I expect. I was just saying that I don't make mistakes, but I'm not sure that that applies to this because it kind of seems a little bit like it might be construed as a mistake. But then I change my mind and I fix it. I want to go get another canvas and dip it in. That's what I'm going to do. You guys watch that for a minute. There is so much paint on that canvas that there's no way that we can't get something that's kind of fun out of it. And then I'll have two paintings I'll have to deal with. I want all this to go over to the side. Yeah, I don't have any bare edges. I'll line it up. Rest it down. Walk my little fingers all over it. Flip it over. Give it a bit of a smooth. I wonder if I can take a tongue depressor, which I don't really use for anything else anymore. Put that right under the edges. Same thing can happen. It could be a background for tomorrow's painting. Might be a neat way to make a background. We'll see in a minute. Here goes nothing. Yup, I'm happy. I don't usually let myself do dips because I consider them kind of too easy. I am going to take a chain. I'm going to take my finger. To heck with the chain. And any spots that I see that are missing, I'm just going to fill in with my finger, tapping gently. So the only problem I can see with this at all is the fact that it needs to have edges and it doesn't. But I can always paint them black, and that may be a plan. So as long as I get that close enough to the edge, there's one. Let's make sure that's everything we want it to be. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's throw a few spirals in there. Because I can. Which I will remind you is the name of my book. Oh, I've got all kinds of paint that I can cover my edge with. Cool! Ha! I liked how that chain looked. And that wasn't bothering me. This really should sell pretty nicely. So let's give it a shot. Actually, let's just mess with it a little bit more. Let's see what happens. Cover any canvas that I see. Anomalous marks, sort of correct them. Oop, I got a long... The dog hair thing is just dogging me today. Crazy like. Not so sure about that. Then I can hit it with the torch. I never do dips. But I like this. I like them. I'm not saying I don't like them. I do like dips. I'm going to take a moment. Maybe I'll put these up for the drawing. Because I can. Just going to take the color that I see for the moment and use whatever's handy on my finger. Since we've got a pair of these, oh, and that one's pretty well covered. Cool. And this was probably number one, maybe. I I'm confused. I don't know which one was number 1 and which was number 2. But the tongue depressor worked kind of okay for smoothing out the paint. And hopefully if I can catch it in a moment, I ought to be able to use the torch to release the bubbles and some pattern. You could take the medical tubing or bendy straw and blow right into this and probably come up with some really cool stuff. So I never do a dip. And I'm going to use my finger to correct what I think is necessary. I'm also going to continue on running my skewer right up. Maybe the sharp end, which is never safe for me. Paint's not that heavy, so I kind of wonder which one this is. Still. I want that to heal itself, so I'm going to drag back down through it. I would be tempted on another occasion to just dip some black chain into some paint and see what would happen. Actually, you know what? I'm just really tempted to find out now. So why don't I do that? I've got 2 minutes left to tell you guys whatever I'm going to tell you. And I'm just going to keep experimenting with this dip because I can. The name of my book. Also, under the video, under Show More, you will find Teespring clothing, and the description below the video holds onto the recipe for my paint pouring. At the bottom of the description, you're going to find wet and dry albums on Facebook, wet and dry artworks from YouTube. I'm not minding that. That's kind of cool. And as much as I love what's over here, I see that blue over there and I want to sort of unify it. If you shop my Amazon link, you can find the Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas and the OXO omelet turning spatulas, best paint spreading tools ever. I am going to attempt to torch this. I don't mind the chain. I think I can still take the skewer to a few things, hopefully. Who knew I was going to do a dip? Not me. I did not know that. Pretty much anybody can do these. If you have good colors, you're probably all set. In theory, I could probably put... Oh, I got just a minute left. Did I miss anything? I sell my artwork. If you want to get in touch with me, do that through YouTube. I give classes at the house. You can do the same. I'll give you my email. There's a contest drawing from contributors to PayPal and Patreon. If you contribute, I'll show you what's going that month. And if you give me a thumbs up, it'll help my placement on YouTube. I really appreciate that. And please, by all means, go ahead and shop the Amazon link below the video at no added cost to you, and find all kinds of cool stuff that I thought was awesome. And I love you guys, and thanks for all the contributions in the past. I kind of want to add some gold, but I think that I'm going to just be happy with what I've got. I say that now, but you know I'm not telling the truth. In any case, this was fun. Thank you for joining me. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard. Happily doing a dip, strangely enough. Maybe a couple more little things here and there, and then I'm done. I promise. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Priscilla out. Maybe green would have been good. I think a little green. I don't know if you're still here or not. Probably not.